What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. I don't think you've ever seen anything like this in MX Bikes before. I certainly haven't. And these are the sorts of tracks that usually get saved for MX Simulator. This is King MX 818. Oh, actually, perfect time to zoom in there. This is his newest creation. This is Mordor Moto Park, and this is the same man that brought us Flowville, or Flowvilla, one of the two, can't remember which one's which. So I'm very, very hopeful that this is going to be a really fun track to ride. So visuals aside, he has made some very, very fun flowy tracks in the past. I'm hoping this one is going to ride just as well. But like, if you want a more custom track, you wouldn't find it in the game right now. Like, everything here is built from scratch. He hasn't given any information as to how long it took him to do. I know he had a bunch of help from Red Rider as well, so massive thanks to Red Rider as well as King MX. And I'm just super excited too. It's like, look at these, like, these look insane. Like, they're actually nuts. So I'm hoping that riding along this sort of volcanic floor doesn't do the game's bitrate so dirty, and I'm hoping YouTube can actually still process it properly. But let's just get into it. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Let's just go. If you've been putting off buying that new MX gear, or you're just looking for some new daily MX related clothing, then head on over to fxrracing.com. Code MXPR_Lins15 at checkout will give you 15% off all motocross and lifestyle products. This code is applicable to the European, Swedish and Norwegian websites, not Canada or the USA. And whilst I've got your attention, you may as well subscribe to the channel. It's just one click of a button and it puts a big old smile on my face. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So it looks like we get to spawn onto some, like, gravestones, I guess. I mean, that's kind of fitting. Oh, they are literal graves. Okay, right. Good to know. Let's go past all the graves. Let's just shoot our way over here real quick. Let's just scoot our way through. I have not got a setup on. Attempt number 2, I now have a setup on. Right, let's go past the mass grave area. I'm guessing it's just soft soil. It feels pretty damn grippy. You don't feel like I'm sliding at all. You don't have the sound of sand anywhere. This looks to be a 40-man gate as well, which is very, very epic. Let's see how it goes. I'm a little bit scared about the ash that's falling from the sky, just for the YouTube side of things. I know the particles might do it a bit dirty, but in my eyes at least, this looks very, very pretty. I mean, is that moving? That is smooth. That's like a smoke particle effect moving off the tree. That's pretty damn sick. We've got lightning going off in the background. I have no idea how they've managed to do half of this stuff. This, as someone that has now built a track, I think it blows my mind even more than it would have done if I had never built a track before. It's seriously impressive stuff. I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, like, the lava itself, that's fairly straightforward. That is just a 2D plane with a lava texture over top of it. Unless it's moving. Is the lava moving? No, lava's not moving. Lava is a stock image, so that one's easy enough. I could replicate that myself. The ground texture looks very good. I'm guessing the base of it is this, like, darker black with the cracks showing through it, and then they've gone through and added an extra little highlight here for the lighter red stuff. I'm checking up on all these jumps, but they're actually sendy jumps. So 450, you get the pass. A lot of custom tracks these days, or tracks in general, the 450 is just a little bit too much overkill. So nice to know next lap around on here we'll be able to actually send it. I have also noticed I've not got the track map on. God's sake, what's wrong with me? That's 2 fails in one video. Right, there we go. Track map's on as well. Quite a long track by the looks of it. It'd be interesting to try and learn it all. One thing that might be difficult is where things look a little bit samey, where it's all the same kind of texture. It might be hard to memorise the track. Like, this is completely different to anything that we used to get in. So you can jump all the way up and over that bad boy. Absolutely pin it around to the right here. I don't want to jump this too far because I just looked on the map and it turns to the left shortly after. I actually got very lucky and downside that about as good as you can ask for. A little double, can we triple this? Have the brake. Perfect, lovely. I even like that we've got these reddish sort of skulls dotted around as well. I know that Endo had some skulls that he'd placed in, like, I guess you could say cliff/cave looking areas before, but not that sort of texture. That one is incredibly high detail. And that, oh look, I've just seen that background picture as well, like almost like a bomb's gone off in the background. This is very, very impressive. Like, it looks so cool. I'm spending more time looking around at the scenery and environment than I'm spending on the actual track, but I think that's kind of like the whole point. Even having these little torches around the outside gives a really good effect. Like, he could have gone halfway and made the on-track stuff look like this, and the off-track just have, like, normal bales and stuff. But the fact he's got these, like, torches that are on fire dotted around, we've got trees that have smoke coming off of them, and we've got, like, thunder going off in the background and lightning popping off. It's really, really cool. It really is. It kind of gives me, like, a hellish kind of vibe. And the only time I've actually heard of the word Mordor is it from, is it Lord of the Rings or is it just The Hobbit? Oh, you guys are actually going to hate me. One or two. I'm not the biggest film/book person when it comes to those sorts of films. You know, like Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit films, like Star Wars, Star Trek, all those. I've never invested any time into them at all. It's not my cup of tea, not my sort of thing. So if I offend anyone with my lack of knowledge, I do apologise. I'm only human, after all. Don't put the blame on me. Thank you very much, Rag and Bone Man. And oh god, not 2 laps in a row, please. No, get back on. Right, I've jumped off the side there, back to back. We have done like a full lap already. Got a nice uphill whoop section. I've decided to turn the road off for this. I would be very curious to work out how the road kind of looks and handles on this sort of track. I mean, being soft soil, it'll erode the same as what we're used to. However, where the soil is so dark already, I'm interested to know what will like come back up. If it'll just make it even darker and it'll be really hard to see, or if it will be like a lighter red that comes through. I will say it's a very fast track. Like, you can absolutely send it over these jumps. This one was all the way down to a little tabletop, wasn't it? Yeah, lovely. Oh, he has got a few tough blocks in here as well, so it's not just torches absolutely everywhere. Seems like track's broken up into little bits, like little segments here and there. We've got this area that's got bales on it. We go into another area that's got more of the trees. Can I triple up this? I could have if I went further to the right-hand side. Land the front flip? No. What's really nice as well is having a track to myself. I'm doing this in between the European and North American MX Bikes GP round at Turkey. And if I don't think there's any way of wording it, but that EU round was one of my most rage-inducing rounds ever. Like, Moto 1, I got absolutely shafted by so many people back to back to back, especially off the start. I was not having a fun time, and it hasn't happened yet, to be fair, but Moto 2 in EU, I actually got a better start and then threw it away myself and made a bunch of mistakes myself. So I finished, little spoilers alert, pause now and go and watch it if you want to, without me spoiling it. I went 2-2 for first overall. I swear getting seconds in every moto seems to be my deal these days. I just cannot get wins to save my life. I'm washed. I'm getting old. I'm an old man. Can't compete with the young whippersnappers anymore. It's not my thing. Try and downside this properly. It looks like this little transfer that we do here over the start corner could be one of the hardest jumps on the track to time. So if you get that a little bit long or a little bit short, you are going to be going to the Shadow Realm, which I suppose actually would be a perfect fit for this sort of track, going off to the Shadow Realm. I want to zoom in quickly. I want to go and see that skull, because it looks so high detail. I really want to zoom in on it and get a close-up. That looks sick. I'm guessing it's probably only like a small model that he's enlarged, but that looks really, really cool. Like, overall, I have no idea where he's got this from. But even the fact that I don't think there's like a light inside it at all coming out of it. There isn't. It's just all texture-based. But looks like it's so impressive. I could actually just fly around this map for ages, just looking at all of the details and all of the ins and outs of the entire map. I've got the race paused at the moment, so you don't get to see like these. You see like this zoomed in like speck here, this ash falling from the sky. You don't get to see it too much. It's just so impressive. I feel like I'm going to be a bit of a broken record as I do this, but it's really, really cool. And I'm hoping that this could be the beginning of things to come for. But obviously custom track isn't the right word, because every track that we get in the game is a custom track. You know, it's not a stock track, it's a custom one made by other people other than the game developer. But I guess like proper like fantasy tracks is the way of putting it, because there's a whole bunch of these on Reflex, there's a whole bunch of them on Sim as well. There's like Dragon Ball Z maps and all sorts on Sim, like really interesting stuff. I know that there is another like really heavily custom fantasy map in the works on Sim at the moment, which I cannot disclose because I'm not sure how many people he has told, but it is from a very reputable MX Simulator community member, who you will all know, so I'm very excited for whenever that gets finished. He is also looking at putting it in MX Bikes as well. Has just started his MX Bikes track making journey, so we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited for that overall. But there's some like really, really impressive stuff on this, and I'm hoping the King MX could kind of document some of this process as well, and how he's achieved what he's achieved, whether it's the ash flowing around, whether it's the lightning popping off in the background as well, because I have no idea how you go and animate a skybox like that. It's really, really impressive to me, and I want to know your guys' opinion as well. Do you think that so there's kind of two parts to this actually. There's the off-track, which is really impressive, but one thing that you want is you never want the off-track to be amazing and the on-track to be very, very boring. So one thing that he's done quite well here is that even on a 450, this is a very, very fast, very flowy track that there's actually multiple line choices on. We've got high sides and low sides of jumps. We've got inside ruts and we've got outsides that you can just absolutely rail to. So it's not just a case of this track just looks good and that's it. I can absolutely understand why this has gone onto the store. Like, this absolutely meets store criteria of being like fully custom. We've got massive caves here with like going into skulls' mouths. We've got like these torches around the outside, which I've never seen. There were some fences that I saw earlier at the beginning of the track as well, which again, no idea where that asset's come from, but it looks absolutely incredible. I think the only thing that might be a little bit out of place on the entire track, which I suppose is very much nitpicking when you just have a look around, like that picture in the background, that looks so cool to me, like so high detail, and the fact that like it goes up into the sky, but it doesn't look out of place. That you can't see where it's all been merged together. It looks like one just continuous skybox, which is again is really impressive. I mean, oh, actually, there's a slight line over there in the background if you can see that. Other than that, it's all very impressive. The only thing that I'd say looks a little bit out of place is this finish line. I can imagine some sort of like grand arch going up and over it. I'm guessing it's meant to be more of like a barren landscape, or like something of an aftermath, so you wouldn't have any like huge structures at all. But that's the only thing that I think looks a tiny bit out of place. Everything else is really like, it's like a hellish landscape. Even these little statues of lions dotted around, all very, very nice, very impressive stuff overall, I must say. The sad thing is, for someone like me who is just very, very beginner / intermediate at all of the programs and softwares that you use to make tracks, so making this sort of stuff just ends up becoming a bit of a pipe dream. I could never imagine having this sort of end product. It would 100% be possible. It would just only be possible after about 10 years of work, when this game has already fully died off. I don't think, like, if you was to even give me a span of like 6 months and say, you know what, replicate this, be like no help at all, just doing it all by myself, trying to figure it out, like all of the animations and such, I probably couldn't achieve it. And I think that's why I keep going back to the fact that I think everyone should give track creation a go. Like, if you've been tempted to start it, or you've never had any idea, just go and watch some tutorials as well, and just see if you can get the beginnings of a track, like the beginnings of a height map and like decals and textures, and then you can really get an idea of how much effort, and more so how much brains goes into this, because there's a lot of outside of the box thinking. I imagine there was quite a bunch of challenges that they had to work around to get this to what it is as well. This little texture here off the track of, but I don't know all the proper like science terms. Obviously, you've got magma, you've got lava, you've got ash. I don't know which one's which, but the darker bits where it looks like it's all dried up off the edge, and then you're riding on a less dried up version on the middle of the track. It's just really, really cool. Like, it really is. And I think the more impressive thing is the higher detail of it. Like, I don't know how many higher texture lava decals there are out there on the internet. Maybe there's lots, maybe I'm completely wrong, maybe it was very easy to get and slap on the track, I have no idea, but I just have a feeling that there was so much more time that went into this than can even be fathomed. And I would have liked a little bit more of a description from King MX. I know that he watches my videos. I don't know if he watches every single one, but I've covered videos of his in the past that he's been like appreciative of. He's left a comment here and there. So like, if you can give us any more details into this, then please do. I'd love to know like time span, what challenges you face along the way, like if there's any sneaky little secrets or techniques that you found out to overcome them complications. I think it'd be really, really cool. I might even see, for some upcoming tracks, I might see if there's any way that I can do an interview and ride with the track creator at the same time, so we can really get the insights. Because one thing that you guys all seem to enjoy was when I done the video with Aiden, Gerb and Chicken not that long ago. It was Aiden's Unreleased Supercross track that we were playing on. A lot of you quite liked the insights that he was giving and how he made stuff and why he made some of the artistic decisions that he did. So let me know. Let me know if you think that's a good idea, or if you prefer me just riding around by myself, spitballing a little bit. But I think that'll probably do it for me. I've just looked across my recording, and it's only 15 minutes long in total, and I know that there's a few bits here that I'm going to cut out just from me gathering my thoughts. Which is weird, because I thought a massive track like this I would have spent a lot more time riding around on. But I think you kind of you get the idea. You know, it's just a very fun, flowy track to ride, and outside of that, it's incredibly customized. Like lots of really, really cool stuff. You see, you've got some random like models and planes dotted all over the place. Is there any like secret stuff hidden in the depths below all the lava? I don't think there is. Even this, we've got steam coming off the lava pools as well. Really cool, really good stuff. And I actually, call me greedy, I want to see some more of this. I know that there's one more track in the works by another well-known track creator in this community, which is not as extreme as this, but it definitely does meet the more fantasy type landscape, not your typical motocross track, which I 100% will be covering you when it's all said and done. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd greatly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on the track, and if you think that the track rides as good as it looks, or if you think it's maybe not met the mark quite as much. Personally, I think it's a lot of fun. There's all sorts of multiple rhythm sections, like the corners hold you really well, which I'm quite shocked by. They don't look like they're super like high banked, or the ruts don't look super deep at first, but I'm getting a hell of a lot of traction around here, so he's done something well. So thank you very much, King MX, and to Red Rider as well. He also gave thanks to Agitato for some banners, so thank you again, Agitato, as well for you. Actually, thank you, Agitato, for your Blunder tutorials too. They helped me out when I was making my track. I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.